Welcome to another edition of Islanders Insider as we come to you from the press box at Chapman Field right here on the campus of Texas A&M University Corpus Christi. Today we're going to talk some Islanders baseball with head coach Scott Malone and Islanders softball with head coach Stephanie Hughes. We also have a special feature focusing on Islander track and field. We'll get things started though talking baseball with the head coach, Coach Scott Malone. How you doing, sir?
Steven, good morning.
How are you, sir?
Good. 2 a.m. bus last night. I may be funnier than usual.
Yeah, that the late trip back from New Orleans, that is quite the trek, isn't it?
Rain, traffic, man, but our bus driver, Tom's been with us now 6-7 years. Unbelievable. Great. Really good.
Gotta love those people, that's for sure. Since the last time we talked, you've had two Southern Conference series, one at home against Abilene Christian, the other at New Orleans, as we were just discussing. Both were series wins for the Islanders. You won 5 of the 6 contests. Tell us about that. I mean, you've played 2 series. You're playing well right now, 5 of 6.
Yeah, the whole club got healthy, for lack of a better word. Got right. The pitching was really good. We've really played great defense over the last 6 or 7 games and some timely hitting, some clutch hitting. And felt like it's one of those streaks that don't come around very often. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're the Yankees or the Islanders. They don't come around very often, and we got on one, and you hate to see it end. But we're playing good baseball, and hopefully we can keep it going.
You mentioned playing good, playing good in the field. Your squad only had 2 errors over the 6-game stretch. How much better is your team, plain and simple, when you're playing clean?
Oh, man, it's just it's a confidence thing. You start to think good things are supposed to go our way. A guy's going to make a diving catch. A guy's going to make a great play and throw somebody out. And our pitching staff this weekend didn't walk a guy, didn't hit a guy. No free passes at New Orleans. So, man, that is how you draw it up.
Looking at the first game of the ACU series, the way it ended was dramatic. Kyle Danford plated the winning run in the bottom of the 9th with the clutch single. Prior to that, you had lost 3 of 4. People I was talking to right at that moment believe that could have been a significant moment and a turning point for the team. Did you see it that way as well?
Yeah.
And did it actually work out that way?
No, it did. There was a different vibe in the dugout. I remember it clearly. Obviously, you don't ever want to give up a run in the top of the 9th. But it was one of those, the top of the order was coming up. We were in a great spot. I think our hitters had a little bit of confidence in that spot where we were at. And Cody Clark went up and got us started, with a leadoff double. And then here come the big boys, and everybody got their job done and walked them off. And obviously, yeah, you're right. That lit a match on a fuse, and we took off and really started playing with some confidence. And, we talk to our guys all the time. You never know where it's going to start, which game, which at bat, what something special is going to happen that's going to turn into a 5 or 6 game win streak. I
just found it interesting that people were talking to on the side of the field immediately after the game saying, that moment seemed like it could be special. This could be the start of something.
Yeah, and we even talked about it yesterday when we lost, and it seems like so long ago, that ACU game, and those win streaks come around. And I told those guys, I thought we played fine yesterday. You hate to lose, but man, when you get on one of those runs, you don't want to see it stop, but we'll get it going again this week.
In the ACU series, as it continued, you really saw solid pitching backed up by a lot of bats. In particular, you had some struggles on the mound on Sundays. You've had that over the years. But it sure makes it a lot easier on a pitcher when you're backed up with 12 hits, 8 runs.
Yeah, Jordan Lee's kind of jump-started the whole thing. And I've always had this belief that seniors play up. And, man, down the stretch, those guys get going. And he's really showing you how good he can be. A lot of phones starting to ring from the MLB guys. Man, this Jordan Lee kid's killing it, So he's doing some neat things down the stretch. He's really pushing this offense. And, you're only as good as your pitching. But if we're going to get going and beat some teams that we need to beat, make a run in the tournament, those 4 or 5 older hitters in our lineup got to get hot.
The 2 weekends, the ACU and the New Orleans series, had one common denominator, that's for sure, and that has been weather. Have you ever had a season where the rain has been so disruptive?
No, it's been unbelievable. The whole drive to New Orleans, it rained for 7 hours. While we were there, it rained every day. The whole drive home last night, it rained. One thing that I'm excited about, my field crew is actually on our field right now as we are shooting this. And I'm thinking, wow, I was hoping our field wasn't going to be a lake. But, we've gotten to play a lot of them, especially the league games. That's probably the big thing right now, that through all of this, we haven't lost any league games. So our guys have gotten a chance to go out and play. And hopefully with 12 to go, we can keep the weather away and go out and put some wins together.
When you're dealing with rain and all the issues of rain, the difficulties of it, how difficult is it when your team has to break routine? Delays, rescheduling.
I think the concern is you never know what you're going to get. And yesterday's a great example where I don't know that I've ever had a resumed game where we walk out of the dugout and put a man on first, and our catcher, who usually hits 7, 8, or 9, leads off, and then he hits a triple, and Lucas Hermanson's on me right after the game. Coach, maybe I'm the new leadoff guy. Move Jordan Lee down, but that's the thing that makes it kind of neat. You just, once your schedule gets all haggard, well, you don't know what you're going to get, and it gives the guys a chance just to go play.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, the fact that Hermanson did start off the resumption with the triple and scoring Travis Geiser, who had just come in. It's always one of those awkward scenarios. You had Trevor Belichick, who was pitching that day and pitching so well, and then you just have to pretty much abandon that whole thing, and things different because he's got to go back in. Game is called. You'd lose a fantastic arm in the process, and you never know what's going to happen over those final 3.
That was a huge fear on Saturday. Rain is all around us as we're heading to, I think, a 4 o'clock start, and we've got our big horse Trevor Belichick in the bullpen, and you're trying to hold him back a little bit because you don't want to throw that guy an inning or 2 and then lose him to a rain delay or whatever it may be. So I know Marty Smith, our pitching coach, was very concerned and had the radar, in his hand the whole time, but it worked out for us.
Unfortunately, the Sunday game, after the resumption, you win that one, but then you go into the Sunday game, and unlike the week before, you just didn't get the offensive support. Devin Scroop, I think, pitched well. I think your pitching staff in general pitched well on the day, but only 4 hits to back him up.
Yeah, Devin probably threw, if not his best start, one of his best starts of the year, which was great. Great for us going forward. And then the difference in the game was those guys put their hits together. They put their hits together, got their runs, and we just could never bunch them. We got down to the last out. CT, our big-time shortstop, who's been so clutch, Casey Thomas, gets a hit to keep it going and gets Tyler Ware up, and everybody's on the top step, thinking, here comes the big one, and we're going to keep this thing going. But like I said, we're playing good baseball. We'll get it going again.
4 more conference series remain on the schedule, including 3 teams currently in the top 4. A lot can happen in those 4 series. Is it plain and simple make or break time?
Oh, it is, and when you look at it, man, here come the big boys, Everybody thinks Northwestern started this season with maybe the biggest collection of talent, and here they are in one of the top 4 spots. Then you get at Sam Houston on the backside, and, you go back and look at what our track record is at Sam, man, it's a hard place to win. So we've got 6 really big ones coming up, and our guys are going to have to be at their best. Those seniors are going to have to play.
Always fun to hear the at Sam Houston. How many years in a row now?
You got it. This will be 5, maybe 6, 5. Yeah. I mean, it's a tough place to go win. We have to get it done.
Definitely so. Finally, considering your position in the Southland Conference standings, I mean, do you do anything different at this point, or we just stick to the game plan?
The mantra for the last 6 is it's been flush the ego. Throw the batting average, the stats, throw it in the trash, let's win. 1-0, 10-9, 2-1, walk off in the 9th, 10-run rule, it doesn't matter. Let's start grabbing wins and let's get in the hunt. Let's make sure that we're in the postseason. Let's see how good we can be in the postseason tournament.
Absolutely, Coach.
Thanks, Stephen. Thank you.
Coach Scott Malone joining us once again here in the press box on the campus of Texas A&M University Corpus Christi. When we come back, we have a special feature focusing on Islander track and field. More to come on Islanders Insider. Welcome back to Islanders Insider. At this time, we have a special feature focusing on Islander track and field and their recent home meet.
For Islanders track and field, the Islanders Dash was just their 2nd home meet of the year. And even with a little rain, the meet was still a success.
Yeah, this is quite a bit different weather than what we had a couple weeks ago at our home meet, where we had some good running weather. It was warm for the sprinters, but not too hot for the distance runners, and the wind was down. It was pretty pleasant. We had some really good performances there. Valentinas won the 800. He won it again, or his heat at Baylor, so he remains undefeated this year. Our 800 guys have been doing really well. Jasmine McCoy rather, had a good race at our place, ran her fastest time for a while.
The meet provided local fans with an opportunity to cheer on the team. The local support of Corpus Christi is one thing that drives the program.
Yeah, I really think that this is a community that has a great deal of interest in running and track and field, and you know, we've got a lot of kids from the area on the team. That was always our priority: recruit out of Corpus Christi first. And you know, we got, like when we had the high school meet, we got a great attendance. When we had our open invitational with a few more teams we had in this last meet, it's like the attendance was really pretty good. We made a pretty good gate on this thing, if that's so. I really think that with this great facility that we built, we've got a real chance to develop a big following, and we're hosting the conference meet in 2016, and then we got the UIL Regional Championships in cross country we're going to put on right around the track here. So with a nice facility like this, people like to come out to it, even in the rain.
With many Islanders winning their events, the Islanders Dash gave a big boost of confidence to the team heading down the final stretch of the season into the Southland Conference Tournament.
It is, you know, the Rice meet's coming up for the distance kids. The sprinters, hurdlers are going over to Texas State, and then we've got a weekend off. Then we got the conference meet. Yeah, it's looking pretty good going into it. We had some good performances at Baylor. Ebony Collins ran the fastest time in the conference in a 200, broke the school record. Now when you break one of Cassandria's son's school records, that's a pretty good outing. Going into the conference meet, this is the one that counts, and everybody's up for it, and it's exciting, and it's you know, and that's the neat thing about track and field. You get a chance to prove yourself repeatedly, and it kind of builds to a crescendo. You know, in other words, I mean, it goes both ways. You can be really running really well all year, and if you fall flat on the conference, that's not good. On the other hand, is if you can have, you know, a down year and all of a sudden you peak right at the right time in the conference meet, oh, it's all good, because that's the one that counts.
For Islanders Insider, I'm Teddy Medina. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Islanders Insider. At this time, we're going to talk some Islanders softball with the head coach of the program, Coach Stephanie Hughes. Coach, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Very, very good. The last 3 series you've had, Sam Houston State, sweep, very nice. You lost 2-3 to Lamar, and you had a potential sweep of Houston Baptist just washed away due to the rain canceling Game 3. Whether it's been in the field or in the clouds, you just haven't gotten all the breaks when you needed them, have you?
That's right. I mean, the weather, especially this past weekend, I think it was bad across the board. I know a lot of teams that were over in Louisiana didn't get to play, and that just, you know, it just piles on when you're playing well and you want to get that third game in. And we did so much work on the field to get it playable, and then just to have 3 outs, and then all of a sudden, you know, the bottom falls out. So there's not much you can do, but day by day.
You ask your field crew to be miracle workers, but sometimes it's even those guys can't pull a rabbit out of a hat.
Yeah, we need a dome. We needed a dome for Saturday. Let's just put it that way.
Wait a minute. No, maybe, but I don't know if that can happen. We'll see. It's a good idea, though. I asked Coach Malone this, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it as well. Have you ever had the weather be so disruptive to the entire league? I mean, it affected your squad, but so many others had it, like, it may be worse. Central Arkansas and Lamar had their entire series just washed away. That could have had significant repercussions as far as the standings are concerned. Additionally, is there no time or resources to even consider rescheduling?
You know, I know on the softball side, we've got a conference rule. Pretty much, if you don't get the series in that scheduled weekend, you don't have the series. And you know, it just happens to be that it has affected us, and where we could have moved up in certain situations depending on other series or other games. In all my years of coaching, I've never had a year where it's affected this much. I definitely know we haven't put the tarp on and off as many times as we have this year. The girls have been saying they're All-American at the tarp pool. But, you know, you have to do what you can do to try to get the games in. And it's just it's part of being an outdoor sport.
Well, since the last time we talked, though, you did have the 2 series against Lamar and Houston Baptist. Against Lamar, you did have the highlight of the season, more than likely, as sophomore Brittany Morris jacked a 3-run walk-off home run to knock off the Cardinals 6-5 in Game 2. Walk us through the emotions of a moment like that.
Well, you know, I don't think we played well at all weekend. I don't think we pitched well. I don't think we hit well. We didn't play any defense very, very well. So to get something as uplifting as that, and from what I hear, that pitch was about a foot outside. And so that's just pure adrenaline, pure emotion. You know, after she hit it, I don't think I even looked over the fence. I think I was running at her and she was running at me, and we were both screaming. And at that time, you know, it's something that to see someone like Brittany, she's got, you know, the upside to her is amazing as a sophomore. I think she's already in the top 10 in career home runs. You know, don't completely mark my word, but I see her leaving campus as the career home run leader. She's got so much talent, and sometimes I think she puts a lot of pressure on herself, but for her to get that moment was amazing.
There is no doubt. That drama was also almost shared twice, though. In the game before, Jessica Mendez hit a home run in the 7th to make it a one-run game, but unfortunately we couldn't put it all together in the end to take it over the top.
You know, we're not a home run hitting team, so for us to rely on that is something that, you know, we're not going to be that successful if we rely on hitting a home run. We're more of a speed-based team, so when we get those home runs, that's great, but that's, you know, it's not what we're going to be focused on winning a game is hitting a home run.
Yes, our park is not necessarily designed for the
No.
home run hitter, so you
Not
normally
quite.
don't recruit that way, do you?
No, definitely not. You know, we've got kids that we tell girls all the time, you need to hit the ball to the right side because the wind's always blowing in from left field. So if you're a left-handed hitter, good. If you're a right-handed hitter, you better know how to hit the opposite field.
There's no doubt. Now, against Houston Baptist, the second series of this past 2 weeks, pitching was really good. Liz Carter got into a little trouble in the 7th, giving up 2 runs, making it a one-run game, but the team held firm. In Game 2, junior Stephanie Flores gave up 1 run in the first, but then just shut them down the rest of the way. Is pitching peaking at the right time?
I think it is. I think you're seeing a slowdown in our midweek games, so we're not having as many midweek games, which is helping for those weekend series. And obviously, you know, you go into the Friday, Saturday games, the emotions are high. It's a little, you know, it takes more out of you. I think Liz just, you know, went into that 7th inning kind of on cruise control, and that's something we can't do. In that first inning with Steph, she gave up a couple, you know, little short hits that I don't, it's not like they just scorched the ball off of her, but they scored a run, and credit to them, but we came back and scored enough to win the game.
Well, let me ask you this. How labored are they right now? I mean, worn out, because it is a long season.
It's a long season. Look at these eyes. I think that, you know, all of them are. We're trying to do that. We take preparation with practice and, you know, really focus on what we can do to get better, but not put too much on them. Pitchers especially, they're doing a lot of stuff in the training room. They don't particularly like the cold tub, but they've been getting in it. It helps with their legs. And then just nutrition, making sure we're eating right, drinking enough fluids. And, you know, the bus trips are taxing. They're hard, but everybody in the conference is doing it, so you just kind of have to go with the flow.
You look at the box scores, and normally someone steps up for us, whether at the plate or on the mound. It is varied on who it will be on a regular basis. Moments of greatness are wonderful, but in the end, consistency is king. Who in your mind has been the most consistent performer for you?
I think that there's 2 that stand out to me, especially once we've started conference. That's been 2 of our seniors, Haley Galloway and Michaela Cochran. Michaela is quietly putting together her best season as an Islander, and I think she's hitting over 360 now in conference. Those 2, you know, again, going back, they're not the power threats, but they're consistently, you know, day-to-day making things happen. And, you know, that's something as seniors it's really good to see.
There's no doubt. Now, theoretically, your schedule plays favorably for you as you will finish up the Southern Conference season against Abilene Christian, then Incarnate Word, and they are 2 teams that are actually in the bottom of the standings at this point. And I said it again, theoretically,
Right.
It works out. What do you have to do to get your team ready? Because they read the standings, but to make sure that their mind is right going into the series.
Yeah, we talk about it a lot. You know, we've been that team a few years back, and you have nothing to lose. You go out and you relax and you play, and you're kind of going out just to play the game when you're in those situations. So, you know, we've talked about that. You know, our destiny's in our hands. We've got to go out one pitch and one at bat at a time, and we need to play our game, not worry about what they've done. You know, and Abilene Christian and Incarnate Word both have some great hitters, and they can hit the ball. That hasn't been their problem, and that's something we have to go in and make sure that we take care of our business and play our game.
Well, again, finally, with the season coming to a close, you're currently sitting in the 6th position right now. You I guess at this point, just control your own destiny.
Yes, we've done a good job in the fact that this series prior, we own the tiebreaker over the team that's two teams that are directly below us. We own the tiebreaker with a team that's ahead of us, so that's something that's really good. We've got to finish out our season and then let the conference standings take care of themselves.
Absolutely. Coach, two conference series left. Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Stephanie Hughes joining us here once again in the Chapman Field press box here on Islanders Insider. When we come back, we'll wrap things up, tell you what's next for Islanders Athletics. More to come on Islanders Insider. Welcome back once again to Islanders Insider. At this time, let's bring you up to speed on what's next for Islanders Athletics. Islander baseball will start a 3-game series at Chapman Field against Northwestern State starting on Friday, April 24th at 6 o'clock. Saturday's game will be at 3, while Sunday will start at 1 o'clock. They'll follow that up with a non-conference doubleheader at Chapman Field versus UT Pan American. That's Tuesday, April 28th, starting at 2 o'clock. They'll continue with a 3-game road series at Sam Houston State Friday, May 1st through Sunday, May 3rd. Islanders softball will be on the road for 3 games at Abilene Christian. Friday, April 24th, a 4 p.m. start for their doubleheader, and Saturday, April 25th at 1 o'clock. They'll return home for senior weekend against the University of the Incarnate Word. Friday, May 1st, 3 o'clock, and Saturday, May 2nd, the noon doubleheader. Islander tennis will head to Beaumont, Texas for the Southland Conference Tournament. Women will get things started on Friday at 11 o'clock against McNeese State as the number 4 seed, as the men look for another title beginning on Saturday at 2 against Nichols. And Islander track and field's final meets of the regular season will be Saturday, April 25th. Split teams as some head to Rice Invitational and others will head to the Texas State Invitational. As always, for all the latest information, be sure to visit GoIslanders.com and download the Islanders Front Row app. Once again, we want to thank head coaches Scott Malone of Islander Baseball and head coach Stephanie Hughes of Islanders Softball for joining us here in the press box today. I'm Stephen King. For everyone involved, you've been watching Islanders Insider.